Welcome back, truckers. Welcome back to Let's Play American Truck Simulator. We've got a pretty darn heavy load, 53 tons of it, a lift truck. And we're about a fifth of the way from, where did we start? Was it Olympia? Somewhere around there. And we're about a fifth of the way towards Kingman there, where we have to actually deliver it. And of course it's nighttime because, you know, why not? It's always night time. Alright, and we're on a slope now, so we're gonna have to start like this. Oops. Oh, it's actually quite easy. Oops. Come on. God, it's so dark. Why is it so dark at night? They didn't do that well. Ah, yes. Struggling uphill. My favorite pastime. In a truck or otherwise. Not really. I mean, the struggling part is real, but I mean, going up a hill without a truck, the struggling part is real, but it's definitely not my favorite pastime. Oh, someone's passing us. Well, I actually did it right. I'm surprised, because usually, a lot of the times if you have a long trailer... Whoa! Okay. Jeez. It's not very wise of you, sir. You did not look, you just barged in. And now we're stuck behind him. Brilliant. Oh well. We have to take it easy in the bends with this trailer anyway. And we do have to be careful in the bends as well, because it is a pretty long trailer, like I said, so it might veer into the other lane slightly. And I have to be careful about this guy in front. There's a bend coming, and he might as well brake all of a sudden. The AI does have a tendency to do that a lot, even if it's completely unnecessary in certain bends. But no, he's actually doing just fine. And I'm surprised by how our truck is pulling. I could overtake him here, but there's no way. I don't have enough power. And there's a car behind us. Oh, wait a second, I thought it was going to be a two-lane. Never mind. I am surprised by how well our truck is pulling. Of course, we do have the most powerful engine in here. The Cummins whatever. I think it's the iX or something. Okay, so this was a opportunity to overtake, but of course not for us because, well, not enough power. Still full power. Let's go to 8 low. Love the sound of that turbo, man. If you want to see something very funny, I mean, I found it very funny anyway, because I'm a bloody kid at heart. I think we'll be braking soon because of those guys up front. Yeah, search for... I don't know what the name of the video is exactly, but search for something like guy making truck noises, and I'm pretty sure that'll be the video you'll get. You know what? I'm actually thinking we should go and too late. I was should have started braking early. Yeah, because I don't want to drive throughout the day. But then again, if we go and rest now, we'll rest almost until like noon, which is... I kind of hate the fact that you cannot set an alarm clock and just wake up early. Yeah, go search for a guy imitating truck. I find it hilarious. It's a guy driving, I believe, a Scania truck. Jesus! What the hell? Holy. Yeah, I need way more space between me and the truck in front. Anyway, like I was saying, that video for me is hilarious because the guy, you can see he's been driving a lot. He knows all the sounds his truck makes from the hisses of compressed air being expunged from the valves to the truck's turbo to the I suppose, well, no, it's not a blow-off valve because it's a diesel, but it's the whistle of the turbo and the sort of whoosh of the turbo when he changes gears. It's just, I find it hilarious. Okay, reduce speed ahead. We're going 50 anyway. What is it going to be? Okay, 50. So we can just keep going. Weigh station half a mile. I'm assuming we're gonna get weighed. We were, what, 74 tons? Oh no, we can bypass it. Excellent. Maybe some of these trucks will have to go in there. That would be great. I still remember before one of the patches when the beeping... Oh yeah, that guy got... Oh, it's a cement mixer. Yeah, the beeping was much, much louder than this. It was so annoying. 45 speed limit. We'll go 47. But I just love that video. I watch it every now and then because, like I said, I'm a kid. Oh, the Beaver State. There we go. Klamath. We weren't in Klamath Falls yet. Oh, we could use some fuel, I suppose. But I don't know about this trailer. Yeah, let's get it. Why not? We don't exactly need it right now. Oh. Yeah, clutchless. Look at that. Okay, this is going to be slightly tricky. Let's do it like that. Alright. The rear of the trailer is fine. Look at that. The rear of the trailer is barely in the gas station now. Alright. 3.22 a gallon. That's not exactly cheap in the US anyway. But yeah, I don't want to get stuck without fuel somewhere in the middle of the road. Or, you know, be stuck with low fuel and a gas station that's really horrible to get into with this trailer. So we're just gonna do it like this. You know, it's a peace of mind. Okay, it's all three. Gotta be careful about the rear of the trailer. Yeah, that's fine. Make sure there's no one coming there. Get a move on so we don't take that stop sign there out. And keep going. Look at that, full throttle. That's full throttle. Come on! We can do it! It's so much fun. I love this game. Oops, oops. Yeah, I did a wrong thing there. I wanted to actually split the gears, not select the range. I mean, not go to the next one and split. Because we went from 5 low to 6 high, which of course, yeah, not exactly what I wanted. Junction 140.39, half a mile. Well, it's 20 past midnight. Oh, there's actually a... Oh, are we gonna make this? I seriously doubt it. I have a feeling we're gonna have some emergency braking. Come on, come on.
Go straight.
Come on. Yes. Just barely made it. And we're overtaking these trucks. And the right lane is gonna... Oh, that was still good. Power! I love these truck simulators so much. I remember many years ago when I was playing 18 Wheels of Steel. I also found a game where you were a bus driver, but it was far more arcade than the bus simulators of today. But it was still enjoyable for some reason because there was this particular map. It wasn't an open world, of course. It was just sort of maps, and it was basically a time trial, which is very strange because I don't usually enjoy arcadey time trials like that. But for some reason, it was fun because the driving physics weren't all that bad. They weren't horribly arcadey. So at some point, there was this map, like I said, which was up in the mountains. And there was snow and everything, and it was very bendy and narrow. And because you tried to get to the destination as quickly as possible, there was a lot of going sideways and sliding with the bus. And if you did it right, you didn't crash, and it just looked ridiculous and cool. Of course, back then I didn't have a... Oh, I have a feeling there's going to be a speed limit here. No? I just wanted to make sure I didn't crash into this guy in front if he would start braking all of a sudden.
Go straight.
Yes, thank you. Why? Well, I can't do anything else here anyway. Everything else is blocked. So anyway, yeah, I didn't have a steering wheel or a shifter or pedals or anything like that. But it was a strangely enjoyable game. I don't know, it was weird. Just gonna stay at 56. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna get past that guy because I cannot overtake him. Well, first of all, it's illegal because it's double yellow, and even if it wasn't, I don't have the power, and I have too much weight to try and do that. So it would just end in disaster. And yeah, if he starts braking all of a sudden, I do have at least a little bit of space between me and him. There you go. Yeah, I don't know. I always enjoyed these games, these simulator driving type games. And they are strangely relaxing to me. And enjoyable, like I said. It's weird. You're gaining on this guy a little bit. I think it's because we're going 1 over the speed limit and they're going straight, you know, pretty much the speed limit. Maybe they could modify that a little bit, you know, make it a little realistic. Like I said, make some trucks go a little faster and make some trucks go a little slower, perhaps. I mean, I know that's an ironic thing to say because I get mad at AI trucks going so slow sometimes. But you can see that they can go faster. That's the problem. You know, they will slow you down in a 55 to like 25 for no apparent reason, and then suddenly get a move on and completely leave you in the dust. So it's just a little bit weird. Start braking here because, oh, yeah, I like it. I'm getting sort of the hang of this clutchless upshifting. Yeah, you can definitely feel the weight of the trailer here. There's a lot of it.
Get ready to turn left.
I'll keep the Jake brake on.
Turn left.
Still grinding the gears a little bit. Oh. Alright. Come to a complete stop. Oh yeah, if, you know, considering I do a lot of comparisons between the US and Europe and so on, and driving and conditions, there's one thing I don't think I've mentioned yet, at least haven't commented on it, and that's four-way stops. Now, Americans will immediately know what a four-way stop is, at least if you're a driver. But to the Europeans, that might, you know, to my European viewers, that might not be completely logical at the moment, I mean, or recognizable. A four-way stop is basically an intersection of two roads. Well, it doesn't have to be, yeah, well, I mean, a four-way stop would be an intersection of two roads. So two roads intersect, and there is a stop sign on all 4 of the corners, which is pretty much unheard of in Europe. I don't think you get that at all here. At least I've never seen it in any of the places in Europe I've been to. There's always a yield sign, there's always either a yield or a stop sign for one of the roads, because the other road will always have the right of way. It'll be like not the main road necessarily, but the road with a higher priority, if you wish. So a 4-way stop basically means that all 4 vehicles coming from any of the directions have to actually stop. Now, you might think, wait a second, how does that work? Because, you know, just like in the US, in Europe we have the right, the rule of the right, if that makes sense. It's, if you come to a corner or an intersection where theoretically there's no signs at all, and there's a vehicle to your right, he has the right of way. I have to actually slow down here. Why? Hold on.
Turn right.
And grinding gears here, lovely. I'm turning right here, okay. See, I'm talking too much and not thinking. I'm going on the... Oh, that was a police officer there. I guess they understand that this is a big-ass trailer. Anyway, yeah. So, you know, the rule of the right, I don't know what exactly it's called in English proper, but basically, if there's a car on your right, they have the right of way. So you wait for them to go, and if your right is clear, you can go. Consequently, if there's a car on your left, you have the right of way. But of course, you cannot really apply that rule to a 4-way stop, because let's say theoretically that it's a rush hour and there's cars coming from all 4 directions. So in Europe we would figure that out with either traffic lights or a roundabout. Roundabouts are getting more and more popular over here, as they are in the US, and I do think they are excellent infrastructure projects, because they really do make traffic flow more. Of course, that depends if people are actually knowledgeable on how a roundabout should work, and if they're not being stupid about driving in especially several lane roundabouts. Anyway, so in Europe we don't really have an answer to what would happen if there's 4 stop signs and cars on all 4 sides. Wow, I've really overcomplicated this, haven't I? But I'm mostly explaining it to my European viewers because they might not be aware of what a 4-way stop is. Anyway, the reason I'm mentioning is because in the US it basically works like this. The first car to come to the stop sign at a 4-way stop has the right of way. They still have to come to a complete stop because it's a stop sign, but then they're the first one that have priority. Now you say, but wait a second, you just said there's 4 cars, there's a rush hour. Of course, but one of the cars was there first, and it's actually, you create this queue. You come to a stop sign, if it's a rush hour, you're the last in the queue then. And then you wait for the car on the left to go, or whatever, it could be the car on the right, and then the car in front of it, and then it's your turn. It works pretty brilliantly, I have to say. I'm not sure it would work that well over here, at least in my country, because people are... they're a bit more aggressive in their driving. I mean, yeah, I suppose it could work, but yeah, I don't see it working as well as in the US. That's why I usually say that I find US driving maybe less aggressive and slightly more cultured in a way than here in Europe. Probably because there's so much more traffic sometimes. But yeah, I have to say that the solution works quite brilliantly. And I was in a few rush hours where I came to a 4-way stop, and it worked just fine. I was really surprised. Of course, there's a lot of stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. That's why automatics are so widespread in the US. Of course, there's also convenience. But yeah, I mean, doing those rush hours and stop and go traffic all the time with a manual transmission and clutch, would be tiring, to say the least. Anyway, so now I've spent the past bloody 10 minutes ranting or explaining something that probably most people watching this know. Yeah, but anyway, I like having these little comparisons between the US and European driving, because I always find the slight differences, you know, even if they're slight differences in culture and driving and so on, driving habits, I find it quite interesting and fun to talk about. And like always, there's pluses and minuses on both sides, you know. Over here we've got high-speed highways that are proper, or freeways, I suppose. I mean, there's so many. There's motorways, which is, I believe, the British term. There's highways, which, well, in the US there's highways, freeways, and they all have slightly different meanings. I think freeways are like where you can also have bicyclists on the side, and I'm not sure. Anyway, over here we have like proper motorways where you can go fast. It's all cordoned off, so you won't expect actual people walking down the road and such, or traffic lights in the majority of the cases. But in the US, for example, they've got the turn on red, which is very, very handy, and so on and so forth. It's really quite interesting to see all the differences. Oh, that was a very early.
Get ready to turn left.
Very early blinker. Look at that, not using my brakes at all.
Turn left.
Grinding the gears, sorry gears. Complete stop. That's an interesting road. It's all good. To shift, move the camera, move the steering wheel. That trailer is long. Still not in the lane. Still not completely in the lane. Now it's in the lane. There we go. Alright. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoy my little rants and such. And I will see you next time. We've got 12 more... Whoa. We've got 12 more hours to get to our destination with this long, heavy trailer, and it's gonna be fun, more fun. So thanks, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.